Good morning. Welcome to the Rave Show from beautiful Northern Virginia, where we talk about everything and anything about Indians in the USA. My name is Jijunair, and this is my lovely co-host,
Soumya. Welcome to our Masaledar show, where I get to jump all over Jiju.
Yes.
Well, spring is finally here in the DC area.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful flowers and chew.
Oh, is that a sneeze?
Allergies.
Oh, allergies.
Not COVID.
Allegra. Take Allegra.
So for allergy sufferers, this is definitely
Absolutely.
a testing season. But also it was cherry blossom in the Washington DC area.
Mm-hmm.
Just wrapped up.
Yeah.
Beautiful pink and white flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Good reason to visit DC, as you can see on the screen here that Vigil is sharing.
Beautiful flowers, right?
Beautiful flowers, and it's almost like Washington DC gets a makeover with that beautiful pink and white flowers in the backdrop, the monuments, the Capitol, and all of that.
Like a postcard, isn't it?
It's
Kind of
almost like a postcard.
Now, have you seen a yellow flower in between?
Maybe, it's spring.
It is possible. Okay.
Maybe a few other dashes of colors also snuck in. And Cherry Blossom Festival, that's a big deal here. Lots of vendors coming in, and some of the new things I saw.
What do you do in Cherry Blossom Festival? You drink beer? Is that what it is? No?
Well, if it is not cherry blossom flavored, then you don't drink it. So I saw cherry blossom ice cream.
You did?
I saw cherry blossom, maybe beer. I didn't look for it, but I'm sure there was. Maybe cherry blossom salad. I have no idea. It's
let me ask you.
Everything cherry blossom.
So when you say that cherry blossom flavored beer, maybe, or you saw something else also, right? Cherry blossom by itself doesn't have any odor. I mean, good odor, right? It's a odorless flower.
It's funny you say that, because I was going to say that at Bath and Body Works, that's a very popular store that sells candles and all this fragrant stuff.
Yes.
They have cherry blossom candles and hand soaps and hand lotions in there too. So
what kind of smell is it?
It's a mystery smell.
Is there an aroma to it, or it just burns and no smell comes out of it?
I don't know, but it's marketed so well. It's like beautiful flower picture on the cover, and nice description to go with it. You'll buy it, Jiju, if you see it. I'm sure your wife would want that.
I will buy the cherry blossom flavored beer for sure. I'm gonna go there this weekend probably. I'll do that.
Well, that's been on top of my mind, and for folks who want to check out cherry blossoms, certainly Washington DC is the place to do it. But you know what? I was just driving to a botanical garden, or even just driving on the road, and you see cherry trees everywhere, isn't it?
Cherry blossoms, right?
Yeah.
So are you saying that don't go to DC?
Well,
just look at your backyard, behind your backyard, and you see it? Is that what you're saying?
Beauty everywhere.
Beauty is everywhere.
That's spring.
Okay.
So spring is here. April showers brings May flowers, as they say.
Oh, May flowers.
So Virginia Soumya predicts more flowers, including the yellow ones, coming up. What's on your mind?
Well, you actually went through it. Weather is on my mind, right? So it's so warm out there. Yeah. Not just warm, it is a lot of bright sunlight, isn't it? Like you mentioned, the flowers are blossoming.
Yeah.
Now the flowers are blossoming means what? Allergies, as you said. I always say Allegra, keep something with you, right? So that allergies, you can keep them away. But at the same time, we may have issues with allergies and all, but the bees and the butterflies are flapping and slapping, right? All that kind of stuff. They have to do their job. Now, talk about slapping. So the slap we heard 2 weeks back or so in Los Angeles during the Oscar Awards is still reverberating throughout the world.
Yes.
You saw that, right?
Of course.
Did you hear that
forget
slap?
it.
Okay.
It's echoing.
two names, Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So two people came out of with two different outcomes. So Will Smith, he got banned for 10 years.
10 years.
Oscar Awards, right? So
that's
he cannot
a heavy
attend.
price to play. Yeah.
A heavy price. He's a millionaire plus. So obviously, but still it's a bad thing for an actor. Now, Chris Rock, what happened to him? He had a show 2 days after, right?
Okay.
And every single seat was sold out.
Sold out?
Sold out.
Wow. As they say, there is like good controversy, bad controversy. This is, I guess, a good controversy with Chris Rock.
Probably. So let's come to that. So good controversy, right?
Sold out.
Sold out. So the last tickets that we were looking into, I also looked into it to see, hey, is it possible? I looked into it just to see. The last tickets were going at $800 and $1,000.
Oh my!
You're talking about stadium of it's a concert. They call it concert.
Yeah.
It's not a show. It's a concert. So the last tickets were going for like so much of money, and I'm sure that he laughed all the way to the bank, right? So that's what that kind of tells you something. But again, what happens is that let's imagine this happened in the Oscar Awards. It's a prestigious award.
Right.
Now let's imagine if this happened in a normal setting. Let's in a party, you and I go, kind of thing, right? Let's go, husband and wife goes there, and somebody makes a jokes at the wife, right? Just imagine that scenario. What would have happened? I don't think that the husband will be in a better shape if he laughs at the joke made at his wife.
Jiju, I'll tell you, as an Indian woman, as a Desi woman, if I was in that place, I would have done damage control right there in the audience, not let that go on the stage.
So are you saying dire consequences for the husband? Is that what happened?
Of course.
What about the person who made the joke, maybe?
Well, he'll get it from me too, but first, husband of mine, stop laughing.
Oh my God. So that would have been the right situation in a normal situation, right?
Yeah.
So Oscar was kind of like much more prestigious. Those things wouldn't have happened.
Yes.
Right. So that was good. So one thing that tells me is that if you are
Desi men, watch out.
Desi men, watch out. I'm not specifically saying that, I'm just repeating what you said. One thing that tells me from this event that happened where Chris Rock got a lot of money through his concert and Will Smith was banned. So for the Chris Rock situation, it kind of tells in a human way, right? So when there is a downside, there is always a upside.
What goes down comes up.
But
what
especially
goes up comes down too.
What goes down comes up. Especially for rich comedians, right? Only those people get that kind of advantage.
Sure.
That's what it shows.
Yeah, there is certainly an upside to it, which Chris Rock is clearly capitalizing on. At the same time, if you saw the Oscars this year, there was also quite a strong South Asian presence. South Asian in Hollywood, man, they are going up.
Are you saying Desi in Indian also?
Indians.
South Asian.
So as you can see now, Vijay is showing some pictures of the pre-Oscar party that Priyanka Chopra hosted. In fact, that in itself is history. This is the first time in history that a South Asian woman and Desi Indian woman hosted a pre-Oscars party representing the South Asians in Hollywood, in the arts. And boy, who's who of Hollywood were there?
I was not invited.
You remember?
Were you there?
Well, next year.
Oh, next year, okay.
Aziz Ansari was there. I know you follow him pretty closely.
Ansari. Okay, he's my favorite.
Yeah, comedian.
Who else was there?
Then there was Lily Singh, another famous comedian.
Talk show host.
Yeah. Even my son watches her.
Okay.
And who else? Mindy Kaling. So these are all the
love
big
Mindy
names.
Kaling. So this is good. So Indian comedians were there.
Yeah.
They should have taken a feather out of Chris's book, right? I'm not saying that you should get slapped and then you will get a great concert, right?
Yeah.
But at least they should have looked at that. They are seeing all these things, right? So Chris Rock got so much of famedom by just being there and cracking a joke. Maybe they also should take a leaf out of that, right? And continue that. Gotcha. What do you think?
Yeah. I think always seize the moment. Make the best out of it.
Okay.
Isn't that the best thing? Like the flowers are blooming in the spring, making the best out of the weather.
Okay.
There we go.
Makes sense.
Yeah. What else?
So that's what's happening. But the thing is that the warm weather and the hot slap. Also, have you noticed that there's a hot job market out there? Have you seen that?
Hot job market?
Quite recently.
I've been following it a little bit.
The hot job market means that if you look at LinkedIn. So when I go and open my LinkedIn, I see all of my colleagues or people whom I know, they're all saying that they're getting promotions, they're getting job salary raises and things like that.
Okay,
so you can see that all across, especially in the IT market. Right?
Okay.
Now, this is basically thanks to Amazon, AWS or Amazon.com, right?
Yeah.
So, and just recently, Amazon announced the current CEO, Andy Jassy,
Andy Jesse.
And
Our
Jesse,
Punjabi guy.
yeah, Andy Jesse. He's not a Desi yet, but he's getting a pay packet announced quite recently, $212 million per year.
Oh my gosh. 3-digit million.
3-digit million. Now, guess what? All the parachute that you order, the hair oil, all the Vatika shampoo that you mentioned sometime in your episode that you order, all these things are adding to his bonuses and salary. Can you imagine that?
I'm sure.
So each time you make that order, click on it, Andy Jesse is getting $1 million more. Richer every year.
I'm sure he is. But Jeff Bezos ka kya hua? I thought he was the Amazon guy.
Jeff Bezos, we know that he's just only getting $1 million per year.
Only 1 million.
Yeah, but again, the point is that he owns the company.
So 1 cent from my hair oil is going to Jeff Bezos.
Well, true, possible, right? 1 cent. But again, so that's what happens. So when you order those things, they are getting richer. So that's what tells the job market is pretty high.
But I'm sure there are like so many connected businesses with Amazon that
Absolutely.
So FedEx, I'm sure FedEx is making a lot of money too, bringing all those packages to us.
FedEx is making that money, right?
Yeah.
So FedEx is also who is the current CEO or the CEO to be elected?
Oh yeah,
Who is that?
I saw that in the news. Raj Subramaniam.
Raj Subramaniam.
Yeah.
And so Raj Subramaniam is a new CEO elect. He's going to become a CEO.
Yeah.
And he also probably will get it. So when you order that Vatika shampoo or that, what is it called? What is the other one that you're saying?
Hair oil.
Hair oil.
Coconut oil.
Coconut parachute.
Extra virgin.
Parachute hair oil. When you order that, 75 cents goes to Mr. Andy Jesse and 25 cents goes to Raj Subramaniam.
24. 1 cent goes to Jeff Bezos.
Oh, you got it right?
That's the business plan. All right.
So job market is so high. But anyway, these people are making millions of dollars. There is no comparison to people making much less
But
than that.
I'll tell you this, with this Raj Subramaniam coming to the scene, I was initially thinking like names like Pichai and Pillai and Nadella, those were already quite popular.
Yes.
But now names like Srinivasan or Subramaniam are all going to roll off pretty easily from everybody's tongue.
And it's because they are at the top, executive level. They're kind of making it common for everyone, especially in USA, to get to understand what those names are.
Yes.
Right?
No, Shrini, Subbi, shortened versions.
So are they called like Jims and Jones? That's what it is.
Pad.
Right? It's becoming similar to that. Makes sense.
Exactly. So that's pretty good. Well, that's certainly awesome news. Oscars and the new CEO, Desi, is representing everywhere. And I also want to thank our Indian followers and subscribers, audience here. We just hit almost 1,000 subscriber mark on
Is that
YouTube.
right? So that is good landmark right there. Thank you for your support.
Yes, so thank you for your support and for your comments that you share each time we host this show. And you can watch this online as we are doing this live or also offline on YouTube, on Facebook. And there are some shorts from this show that Jiju very painfully creates.
But again, the point is that they can also call us during the show, right?
There's
a possibility that you can call us. We would love to talk to you too.
Yeah.
There are ways to do it.
Absolutely. So callers during the show, will soon be inviting callers into the show as well. So you have that opportunity too. But so thank you. And, just to recap our last episode, right? We talked about cocktail recipes. So if you're this is your first time watching this show, our last episode talked about some really cool Indian cocktail recipes that you could do it from the comfort of your home. And very spring, very in season. And we also talked about, what else did we talk about in our last show?
I think you talked about the most interesting person also.
Right? Interesting. That was the new thing we talked about last time. Kisbu, a balloon seller from Kerala. I think she's from Rajasthan originally, and she was selling balloons in Kerala, and she got some pretty big makeovers and became an instant Instagram celebrity. Who do you think is the most interesting Indian this month?
Well, I mean, every month we try to do that, right?
Yeah.
So I can think of only one person this time around. Her name is Papa Mal.
Papa Mal. Okay.
Papa Mal is a very traditional name, right? So she is from Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu, okay.
And just imagine this. How old is she? Just give me a ballpark.
With the name.
With the name. You're associating a name with an age. So you would probably say
you
20,
could
25
map
years
that,
for me, right? If you're
There was
associating
like
the name.
a popular time for Arjuns. There was a popular
I got
time
it.
for
And what about
Raj.
jijunair? It's like 25? Is that how you will associate?
Jiju is quite a unique name,
It's a unique
so
name.
hard to
Okay.
put a date on
So
that.
let's hear from you. How old would she be?
I would guess maybe somewhere between 80 to 90 years.
Wow, really?
It is an older
name. But
yeah.
she is 108 years old.
108.
Yeah. So why I'm
Oh my
saying
gosh.
this because people can be old and be there.
Yeah.
But the good thing about Papa Mal is that she is an entrepreneur and she's an activist.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because she cultivates organic vegetables in Coimbatore.
Oh, okay.
2.5 acres of land. He just cultivates organic vegetables. Not just cultivates it and eats it, right? She sells it, and she has built up a cooperative in that village, brought together villagers and encouraged them, inspired them to do organic farming. Isn't that amazing?
That's
I cannot
truly
even
amazing.
imagine what I will do when I'm 56 years old. I cannot imagine that.
Absolutely.
But this is inspirational.
Very.
And more and more women. And look at that. She's 180 years old. Very, very senior in all aspects of it. If she can do it, all of us can do it.
Yes.
And thanks to those women in India who are inspiring in many ways for the society to move forward.
For sure, I'm very proud of being a
proud
woman and an Indian woman, and certainly inspired to do baby steps. Maybe I won't live up to 108 years old,
But you can still plan.
accomplish something
you can
that
still plant
that leaves a mark in the world.
Right. Not organic, but at least you can plant a small plant. Maybe a dhania,
Pudina.
yeah, something like that.
Absolutely.
Start there.
My grandma was 103, so she passed away a few months ago at 103, and she raised a family of 11 kids, lived in the village, very much self-driven, self-sustained woman. So so many women out there that we can
Absolutely.
get inspired from in your own family and people like Papa Mal. So absolutely
Great to hear.
Great choice, Jiju, on the
Thank
most
you.
interesting.
We'll do it next time also, something good.
Absolutely. What else? Any?
Well, traveling wise, right?
Yeah.
So I know that this is the season when people are planning to travel. Springtime,
yeah, that's right.
And I know that you travel a lot, right?
I love traveling.
You travel a
COVID
lot.
had put a little pause,
Little bit
but
of pause.
hopefully pick it up.
My travels are usually like I travel from Maryland to Virginia. So that's kind of exotic for me. It takes a lot out of me. But when I travel, real travel, right? Air travel, right? But where do I air travel to? India. Most of the time, right?
Yeah.
So the beauty of Indian travel is that you get to meet your old friends and relatives. But again, it's very expensive and it takes 20 hours to reach India. You know that, right?
Yeah,
Everybody knows.
yeah.
Our audience actually knows about it.
Even longer if you have to go to that last
leg
yes.
is so it all starts with looking around for tickets.
Yeah.
What is the best ticket out there? How can I get it? Right, this is the right time to buy tickets though, because you can get tickets for 600, 800, whatever
That's
time,
true.
right?
Compared to
December.
to the
December or June, July time frame.
Yeah.
Summer it goes beyond $2,000. So there's a lot of competition going on between Indians, right? We are all smart people, or considered to be very smart people, very savvy. So we want to buy the ticket at the lowest price, kind of like a stock picking. Always pick it up at the lowest price and use it, right? Like that, we are proud of ourselves doing that.
We all love good deals.
We all love good deals. You have to have good deals. Now that's where the pressure comes in, right? If somebody asks you, we are going to India, what kind of price did you get? You cannot say, I paid $2,500 for it. You will be considered as a non-smart Indian. So you have to always come out with a good price, right?
Yeah.
So for that, you should start looking right now. For the next year, not now. March, you look for it. Next year, June, you can travel.
We
Just start
have a
looking for it.
resident expert here who can
Right.
figure out the timing to go to India.
Exactly.
So there we go. Tell me your...
Make sure, even if you don't buy for $600, if you pay $2,500 or $3,000, $6,000, whatever, but always tell people you got it for $800.
I agree with that.
Otherwise, you will be off their list of smart Indians.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Now, that is one part of it. Once you get the ticket, what's the next? Usually it's an economy class ticket, right? So this is one of my friends told me when I came long time back, 20 years back to US. He said that, well, having a ticket is great, economy ticket.
Right.
But we all have a secret desire to our economy tickets to be upgraded to the next level.
For free.
Free, obviously. We want free. We don't have to pay for it. Come on, what are you talking about? It has to be business class or it can be first class. If it gets for free, if you pay for it, what is the value in it? You should get it free.
I agree with that,
Right?
100%.
So this friend told me 20 years back, Jiju, this is the secret for getting free upgrades. Please listen carefully. You have to dress up nicely. That's it.
Dress up nicely.
Dress up nicely.
Yeah, okay.
And the person who was telling, so you said, Jiju, if you dress up nicely, you will get a free upgrade.
So dress up nicely would be like a suit, boot, tie, all that stuff?
Correct. So dress up nicely, not just get a free upgrade, you might get a free choice of beverage once you get it. This person was telling me by wearing a three-piece suit, all black, three-piece, right?
Okay.
And he was having a wool coat draped over his hand and a hat on his head. Can you imagine? And
and sitting like that for
no, he was trapped. He was telling
hours?
me just as he was going to get to India, go to the airport, and this was from the hottest state in USA, Texas.
Okay.
And he was going to the most humidest state in India, Kerala.
Okay.
Right?
With three-piece
but
suit.
it was three-piece. I said, let me do it because this is a piece of wisdom I should not waste. So I started doing that from that day onwards. Wherever I go, I actually ended up buying around 12 suites, right? Like three-piece suits and stuff like that. So 12 of them. And I always go to JCPenney or Macy's, get their sale. Every time I go to India, I go to JCPenney and buy a suit and wear it.
Okay.
Black suits per se, because it's much more elegant looking, right? That's what he said. I did that. Till date, I have not received an upgrade. So that
clearly there is something else that's going on.
Do not despair. Keep continuing that because that's a strategy that has been adopted. But one fine day, what happened was that I forgot that I had to go to India. I just woke up, right? Then I said, oh, I got to go to India.
Gigi forgot he had to go to India.
One day that happened, right? Then I was wearing a t-shirt, jeans, and forgot to take a bath. Forgot to brush my teeth. I just took the bag.
I dread people like Jiju on the plane.
Correct. So when I went there, stood in the line, I said, my God, I don't have the strategy in place. I don't have a three-piece suit, right? What am I going to do? If there's a chance of getting it, I have wasted it.
Yeah.
Due to some reason in the line, I was standing in the line, the people were kind of not really getting closer to me due to some reason. Body odor, I don't know. Maybe it's body odor, but they were staying away from me. So it was like I was forming a buffer zone. I'm there, other people are not there in the line. So maybe they complained or something like that. Anyway, what happened was that the agent calls me, sir, can I see you here? I said, okay, I didn't know that why it is like that. Sir, we want to put you in the business class because a lot of people are complaining.
You know what I think? He may have felt that the guy needs a bath, so he can take that on the plane.
Possibly,
so he can't
maybe
do that in economy.
He wanted to isolate me from the other people in the economy class, put in the business class, something like that. Then I learned a lesson that day. It is not what the clothes make you. It's the body odor.
I thought you'll say something more deep.
Well, this is deep, right? This is what I found out. This is how I got first class or business class, right? So that's one thing that you can work on.
You know what this reminds me of? On Seinfeld, there is an episode called The Opposite, where George does exactly the opposite of what people say you should do.
I think George Costanza has got a point.
He proved his point.
Absolutely. Now, I love George Costanza. So this is another thing. So the third thing that happens usually is that you get your ticket, business class, but usually you get economy class, right? Because all the suit wearing did not help me.
Correct.
So I end up in economy class anyway. Go to the economy class. Another thing that...
this was another time. This
is the only time. This is the only time I got.
And watch out for those guys.
Yes.
They are the ones who tried.
Order is something that you have to be careful about. So getting into the plane in economy class and eating the dinner, gourmet dinner, or what they call as gourmet dinner is another exercise. You need to be trained in NASA to eat. Exactly. So what happens is that, I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
So the air hostess comes through and she will ask you, sir, what would you like to have for dinner? By just hearing that, I'm a vegetarian, by the way. So by hearing that, I will say, oh my God, the menu is out there for me.
Sure.
Right? So like palak paneer or idli sambar, all those beautiful thoughts come to my mind. Chole, I like chole and all. So I say, oh wow, these are the choices I might have. Yeah. So I say, what do you have for me? So she will usually say, in economy class, chicken. So I said, what else? No chicken. That's the two choices you have. That's
There's
an
even
economy.
a short version, no CHK.
No CHK, right? So I said, okay, that's what I get. Anyway, so that's a choice you get in economy class, right? So it comes in a rectangular, everybody knows this, right? Rectangular space kind of like containers with small compartments and stuff like that.
It's truly robotic, man. You're sitting like this.
Right.
You can't move your arms. You're just eating. But hey, for $600 ticket, I'll pay.
Right. So what happens is that you get that, right? Like I said, it's NASA trained. And you need to have mechanical arms, right? So you move like this, right? And then you turn it, and then you put the food in the mouth, then put it back and turn it back again. You repeat that 20 times, and then your dinner is done.
Correct.
If you deviate from that, the chicken curry is falling on your neighbor's lap. You don't want to do that.
You don't want.
So you need to be trained by NASA, and you need to be mechanically armed to eat in the economy class, right? So that is one thing that you'd be trained in if you are traveling in economy. But that should not stop us from getting a better deal, right? Now, economy class or whatever, you still have to fly 20 hours to get where you want to be, right? 20 hours of travel, and sometimes 4 hours of sitting around in transit areas, all those things. And by you usually are tired, and you'll be sitting like this, or sitting like this.
Yes.
And transit areas, you'll be sitting like this, right? So you can relax. In the first class, in the business class, oh yeah, you can lie down.
But you still have to be sitting.
Sitting. So what happens is that your back starts to hurt.
Yes.
And when you reach India, or when you come back from India to USA, your back is killing you. So you got to spend 2 or 3 days just to recuperate, recover. So that is the only
And then you're back to sitting, working long hours.
You can sit or you can walk, depending upon what you do.
Yeah.
All these things, this is the only part where I have a problem with, right? The sitting and the back pain that the economy class gives you.
Oh, definitely. Back pain. That's just air travel, working long hours, back pain, and, stretching out is absolutely a must. You know what I do when I go to India? I actually sneak in I have a little foldable yoga mat in my carry-on bag. And when I am in the transit area of the airport, I don't care who's watching.
No, that's absolutely
I put out my mat in a quiet corner, and I stretch, and it gives me so much relief from those long hours of travel. I'm a big believer in, doing daily exercises that keep your body in condition. I'm not talking about like heavy weights or intense aerobics or anything like that. Simple.
You do heavy weights in an airport?
No,
you don't. Okay.
I'm not. I'm not.
Just yoga.
Yoga in airport.
So does it happen like everybody's watching? So we are all waiting like this, like I said, right? So you will put a mat out there and then you will do yoga in front of them. Is that what it is? Okay.
I do. Not in front of them, but I do.
You don't care.
I do like to. So in fact, I practice yoga daily. Yoga is truly the best remedy for your total body toning, pain relief, and just keeping it well circulated. I think we have. So Vijil is showing some videos of me doing yoga right there. So that's what you would see at the airport.
Yes. So this can relieve the back pain.
Absolutely. So what the audience is seeing here is Surya Namaskar or sun salutation. So it's a series of poses, and it starts with Namaskarasana, which is just Namaste, and then you would go into stretching your hands up. And that in itself kind of stretches your back. And in the process, you're breathing in so that you're sort of conscious about your breath.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you fold your body into half. So you touch your feet.
Is that where your core muscles get developed?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, okay.
This is primarily your back. And then you would do, you would take your right leg back, left leg back, and you would stay in plank. That's the flat position plank, which is amazing for core strengthening because you're really hoisting your entire body with your two hands, and you need to have a strong core in order to.
What is that pose called? That specifically, I know that everything helps to it, but in the Surya Namaskara salutation, what specific pose puts more stress on the core?
Would be plank.
Plank,
certainly. And I generally recommend holding that pose for at least 10 seconds, at least. You can do longer if you want to. So you'll build your way up to longer. Maybe you can do it for a minute.
Right.
But that process in itself strengthens your core. So you do plank and then you take a vinyasa, which is you go all the way down to the ground and then you breathe up. And that's up dog or bhujangasana. That's the name of the
Is that the snake pose?
Snake pose,
also? Okay.
Correct. So you would do that, and then you would go to down dog, which is the opposite of that. So in bhujangasana or snake pose, you are hyperextending your back.
Okay.
And then when you go to down dog, you are doing the opposite, where you're compressing your back. And just that balance in itself, just the action, helps build the core and the back muscles really well. And then you sort of come back to your namaskarasana and wrap it up.
So you are almost like a Ramdev Baba, right, in India. And he has made a lot of money. He has made a huge yogasana concerts.
Yeah.
I mean, you are similar to something like that. I mean,
well, I'm just a humble Indian, inspired by and proud of our techniques.
Now, let me ask you. So the sun salutation by itself takes how much time?
So
one repetition.
Good question. I think takes about, I would say, 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
But if you hold the poses for longer, you
10
can.
seconds you mentioned.
And the key is also not just do it once.
Okay.
But do it multiple times. Like, for example, I started some time ago and I can do 18 of those.
18?
1/8, yeah, of those. But guess what? Like people like Baba Ramdev can do 108. So I'm working my way up to 108 sun salutations, which I'm not there yet.
One after the other? Same
One
day?
after the other.
Same session?
Same session.
But is 9 okay?
Yeah.
9,
you can start
18.
with, I would say start with like 4 or 5.
Okay.
And then slowly add one each day.
What about 1?
Well, the most important thing of any exercise is showing up.
Showing up.
Show up and do 1. And then tomorrow do 2.
So I think for the audience who might be new, I'm sure that Indian audience knows sun salutations a little bit, right? Or at least are exposed to it. But you're connecting that with the core strength.
Correct.
Which is like when you do the 30 seconds sun salutation, spend more time on the plank to give you that core strength that can help alleviate the pain that I'm talking about, right? Because core strengthens your back also in many ways. The airline travel, we are all going to travel now. So this is one good thing we should start doing now.
Yes.
And also, I'm sure that you touched upon this, the work from home situation.
Yes.
People sitting and not really moving around maybe. This also can solve that.
Absolutely. Keep a yoga mat somewhere and that will tell you, hey, come on.
So do you turn the video turning on before in a Zoom call and put the yoga mat on? Of course not, right? You don't want to do that.
I don't seek that much attention.
Yet. Okay.
But, well, that brings us actually to the picture of the month, which is also yoga related.
Okay. That I wouldn't be able to place it by myself, but let's see that.
So the picture of the month, which Vijay is now showing on the screen, is a very popular movie that was released on Amazon Prime not too long ago. And the main heroine in this, which hopefully the audience can tell looking at the picture, is a yoga instructor, and she has her own yoga studio in Mumbai. So who do you think?
Padukone?
So quick and generous with your clues.
But no, yoga I did not know, but by just looking at that poster, I got a little bit of understanding because I can identify people through their, abstract body form.
There you go. Jiju's generosity gives you the heroine.
Is it true?
It is true.
It is true. What is Deepika, right?
Deepika Padukone.
Padukone. Why Padukone? Italian?
I know, the world calls her Padukone.
Yes.
It's actually Padukone. It's a Konkani last name.
How do you know that?
Because I'm married to a Konkani.
Oh, okay. Now, I don't have any argument for that.
But Padukone, if she is, we all have those short versions of our names. Right. So, if that's what she's comfortable with, great. Padukone it is. But as a Konkani person, Padukone is
now it's easy for people to identify and put that on, right?
Yeah.
You think so?
Perhaps.
Okay, perhaps.
But that's the question. Identify the name of the movie that recently was released on Amazon Prime, which features Deepika Padukone.
How would the audiences answer the question?
Send us your comments. We'll definitely read out your comments. And If you'd like to call us, you can do that as well on the show.
Calling will be fun.
But before we get to the answer, we first have our live guest on the Rave Show.
Live guest. Okay.
And the guest today is Veena. Veena is a painter, a full-time artist and a painter based in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta. Okay.
She has a beautiful studio of her own from where she paints. And she's joining us live today from Atlanta, Georgia. But first, let's take a look at her beautiful painting creations. Vijay, can we show that to the audience, please? That was wonderful, Vijay. Thanks for putting that lovely video together of Veena's artwork. And Veena, welcome to the Rave Show.
Oh, thank you, Soumya. Thank you, Jiju, for having me.
Welcome, Veena.
Beautiful artwork that you have in there. And I'm truly amazed to see that you're pursuing your lifelong passion for painting. And it's just looking lovely. How do you draw your inspiration for all that you paint?
I'm not just interested in a specific subject. I tend to do whatever captivates me, and looking into my collection of paintings, you can see I do landscapes, portraits, temple art, pet painting, anything I can get to, I will do.
Definitely. I could see a huge variety of things that you paint. So tell me more about your story. How did you become a full-time painter living in Atlanta, Georgia?
You want to hear the whole thing or a short version?
Maybe a summary version for our audience. We are always interested in hearing these personal stories.
I grew up in India, Kerala and Lakshadweep, and I was always interested in painting as a child, painting or drawing, and my dad actually recognized my interest and he supported me, encouraged me in everything. And during my high school days, those years, I won the Government of India's National Talent Search Scholarship.
Wow.
And it was for about 8 years, I think. I got it. And then while doing my college, I won a state award. And then went on with the studies. Painting was behind me at that time. Like normally, a lot of people do that, I think. Yeah. So after my schooling, I got married and moved to USA about 3 decades ago. That gives my age away, right? 3 decades ago, came here, started my new life, being a housewife, mother of my 2 boys. And I was a full-time student. And then I started working at Emory University as a full-time staff as radiology supervisor, which took up all my time. And I really enjoyed it and didn't really think about painting that much. But it was always in my mind, always I wanted to paint. So what I have done something at work is I started a project called Art for Care.
Hearts for Care?
Art for Care. Art for Care. Yes, it's for. It was actually an employee engagement program, and it was for the employees to do something fun. And we started doing it. I started painting ceiling tiles and displaying it throughout the department. And I had ceiling tiles on the ceiling painted. And what happened is it became a very huge success in my department.
imagine.
And all the
Definitely, like a big
patients loved
mural.
it. Yeah, patients loved it, and they enjoyed it because it took their mind away for some time at
Oh, yeah.
least when they're on, when they are having their exams, when they're on the table, they can see and relax. These paintings will help them to do that.
It's kind of like art for
And
care. You said heart for care, right?
Yeah.
That goes with what Veena is saying also. Art for
Yes.
care, but heart is also there as
Also
part
there.
of that.
Yes, heart and soul, and very therapeutic too.
Exactly.
yes, actually, employees loved it. Everyone loved it, and I really definitely enjoyed doing it. What happened is this brought me one of the prestigious, when I look at it, it's very prestigious and award, Emory Healthcare Creativity and Art Award in 2019.
Wow.
For me, this
Oh,
was
that is
given.
huge. That is huge.
That
Well,
was
congrats,
very,
even
yeah,
though it's
of
late in
course.
saying that
Of
for
course.
us.
And this was given to people who make a difference, a positive impact or difference in their community. So I got it for healthcare. And it was done, I think they searched throughout Atlanta or Georgia, I'm not sure. But it was very nice. And honestly, that's what gave me the feeling of, okay, maybe I should start
It was always there.
being,
It
my
followed you
dream
back.
was slowly coming true, yes.
Yeah.
And I
So you're a
just wanted
painter.
to.
So you're a
I'm an
painter
artist.
now, but you were a radiology professional.
That's right. That's right. By
And
profession,
that,
yes. And
that
now,
transition is what we're talking about
that,
today.
yeah. And now I started thinking about being a full-time artist. So, make the long story short. 2 years ago, I left Emory. I quit my job and started thinking about this being a full-time artist. And a year ago, probably, I got my studio done. And right now, I can say I am towards the dream, fulfilling my dream as a full-time artist. And I'm very thankful to my husband, especially. He's actually pushing me to it because I keep
Yes.
talking about it, and he knows how much I love it. So this is, I'm very thankful to him.
Amazing.
So
An American
that's my
dream
story.
and a dream of an artist fulfilled. That's such a lovely story. And there is people getting better and feeling good about looking at your
Oh,
paintings too in the
Yeah,
healthcare
they
setting you
always
work.
mine was a cancer institute.
Okay.
So we get a lot of cancer patients, and you can think, right, how their feelings are.
Yes.
So when they come there, they come and they walk around, they can see the images, and it let them relax a lot. And some of the patients bring their kids to see the paintings. It's like a gallery there.
Yeah.
So it was giving everybody a good feeling. It was a nice project, and it was very
Absolutely. This is
successful.
inspirational. I'm dumbfounded. Because somebody who can go from one profession to the other and make a difference
Yes.
in lives to other people, this is a huge achievement.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So these are great stuff. Again, that's the art side. What you mentioned is that is mind blowing by itself. Even though there is a heart side of it, the heart side of it. We have been seeing paintings when we grow up in India as well as over here, and you go to galleries and all. So there's two types of paintings that, as a layman, I know. One is called an abstract painting, and another is called a realistic painting. The realistic is more like what I remember from India, Raja Ravi Verma kind of painting. Some people
Yes,
say it's
I've seen
calendar
those in
painting.
Mysore too. Yeah.
Exactly. It's very, very detail oriented, right?
Yeah.
The proportions are everywhere. Abstract, there are no proportions per se. It's all
And
abstract.
then there's modern.
Yeah, everything comes into light and you make a meaning out of it. Veena, where do you stand in between abstract painting and realistic painting? Where is your stance?
And Raja Ravi Verma.
And Raja Ravi Verma. Van Gogh and Raja Ravi Verma.
My style, you want to know, basically I am a self-taught artist. Means, and I take it as a positive thing though.
Yes.
Because it gives me freedom to do what I want to do. I'm not trained by a specific person in any specific medium or specific the way they do, and it's my own way. I do
Okay.
most of the paintings I have done is realistic,
Okay.
and I have done some abstract. Now I'm trying to combine both in a way. It's just a beginning for me, and it's a long way I have.
Is it always people, or are there any other subjects, living subjects that you would take as a portrait, or subject as in paintings?
I do. I
do?
paint a lot of pets.
Pets. Wow,
Yes.
that is amazing.
A lot of people ask me to paint their pets, not the live models. Okay, just the
I was
photographs.
going to ask you that because I have a lot of
No,
friends.
no live models
Yeah,
here.
they're watching this show right now, Veena, and they will be curious to know how this painting is done.
Yes.
Right.
What does it take to get a painting from you or commission a painting with you?
Let's say
It
pet
depends
painting
on
to
what
this.
Or a
they.
painting.
Yeah.
It actually depends on what the customer wants.
Okay.
Yeah.
What their requirements, and I do follow the market price structure
Okay.
that
That's fair enough.
takes into consideration of how complex the images are going to be, or the size of the painting, or medium, anything. It's all depends on what the customer wants.
Right. Can they reach out to you in your Instagram handle? Is it possible
Sure.
that they can reach out to you? And we are seeing some paintings by the pets, right? Now, let me ask you one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, obviously, there are people who have pets, right? I don't know the names of the dogs or anything like that. Alsatian, I remember from India. But if they have larger pets, right, would you draw them also?
What are you
And
talking about?
I'm talking about tigers and lions and snakes and all. Is it
As long
possible?
as it's a
picture.
picture.
So,
Not a
no,
live one, just a picture.
They might want a
definitely.
live picture, like Saudi Arabia.
Live picture, forget it.
No, you don't want to do that. Okay. They just wanted to take it out of the.
Yeah. Great. So certainly the audience can contact Veena through that Instagram handle and
Yes.
jumpstart the process from there. That's great. Thank you, Veena, for sharing that. On the Rave Show, we are also interested in learning more about the other side. Like,
Yes.
we know now that you worked at Emory and then you decided to pursue your passion as an artist now. What else do you do?
If you ask me about a passion, art is the passion for me, like painting. I have a lot of other interests, but I always in my mind I want to do something different always. I'm interested in gardening, like flower gardening or vegetable gardening, anything. I love cooking. If my husband hears that, he'll be thinking, what? But I do love cooking. I am into embroidery. I do make jewelries, but these are all just interests, not really into it as a passion. Passion is always painting.
Okay.
Activism. So painters are activists. I've heard of this.
I
mean,
mean,
Are you into?
You could
are
say
you into
that.
Changing
You
the
could
world.
say that.
Is that another passion to change the world through art?
I'm coming there slowly. I have that
Coming
in
there
me.
slowly.
Speaking of which, will we see you in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
sometime soon?
Who is calling me? You both invite me.
So-
I'll be there.
So Soumya has got a point. Washington Art Gallery, right? DC has got a very good
Yes.
art gallery, Smithsonian Art Gallery. So when can we see? Right? Is that what you're asking? When can we see your paintings? I saw some painting as a Nirvana. That was pretty good. It reminded me of the Nirvana band. When are you going to bring this so that American, not just Indian American, but American audience can also see it? When is
Just
that
like
going
I
to
said,
happen? Let
Jojo,
me know.
invite
Let
me.
us know.
I'll be there.
We'll keep an eye out.
You will be there. Okay.
Sure.
So it was great talking to you, Veena. I mean, I saw that you're more realistic kind of painter, even though some of the pictures, it was a combination of both.
Yes,
And,
I'm trying to get into that, like a combination
of
realistic
both.
and
And also the good thing about is that the pet painting, right? That's one of those things that people will be very much interested in. And as we can see, the Instagram handle is there, or they can actually put comments in our YouTube channel or Facebook channel to reach out to you. So we will definitely forward that to you. So you're getting a lot of painting requests coming from our side, okay?
Thank you,
So
thank you. I need
please
all that.
Remember
I
us.
would love to. First of all, I love to do it.
Remember us though. When you become much more better, I mean, you become a famous painter. We'll call you back. When I say painter, I meant artist. Painter, artist.
Thank you.
We'll call you back again, right? And then we'll talk about
sure.
how far you have reached, and then your Instagram handle probably will be like millions of followers.
Out of the world.
So we will definitely want to
Hopefully.
talk to you. But thanks for spending time with us today, and
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Absolutely. Good luck on your journey and great to talk to you, Veena.
Thank you so much. Great talking to you guys too. Thank you.
Bye.
That was an amazing experience.
Experience and story. I think we've been really lucky to have these guests on our show who
From
have-
USA. Because what do we talk
USA.
about? Indians in the USA.
But the world is shrinking, right? We can't just limit to Indians in the USA, but Indians everywhere in the world
Everywhere.
who are making a mark,
Correct.
which of course would be of interest to
Absolutely.
people here in the
But this
US.
is inspiring in many ways, right?
Yes.
The paintings by themselves are beautiful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I cannot even paint like that. I started painting when I was young, but I couldn't get to this level. But the point is that she shifted her career
Yeah.
from a radiology professional,
Yeah.
actually dropped that career off and took up this as a sole career that she has. Family support, of course,
Yeah.
she had,
Yeah.
right? That is the amazing part of it. And that's why when I wished that you will get 1 million Instagram followers or you will have a presentation in the Smithsonian Gallery, I actually meant it because
Yeah.
she's spending time as a sole passion now.
Correct.
Kind of like a career in it,
Absolutely.
right? So definitely we will be able to, we should be inspired by that also.
Definitely. Well, I saw the iPad here buzzing quite a bit
Is that right?
with some comments from our audience.
Okay.
But first, let's come back to the picture of the month
Picture of the month.
and see who from the audience has responded with the most generous clue from you, Jiju.
Yes. Padikone.
So I see Sudhir and Anu saying Gehraiya.
Okay.
Yes,
Congrats to Anu and Sudhir.
that is the movie we
Is
were
that the right
talking
name?
about. Gehraiya.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just looked at the body shape and both people and then I kind of assumed. I didn't know the name of the movie though, but now I think our audiences know better than I do.
It got quite a bit of mixed reviews, I think, on
Okay.
Amazon Prime, and quite a different subject movie. So if you have a chance, definitely watch it and tell me if you
Absolutely.
liked it. Also seeing some good comments that came about some of the topics we talked about.
Okay.
Sudhir says, the hand that rocked the rock did not pursue happiness. So that's Will Smith.
Absolutely.
And
That was a famous movie that he had acted in, Pursuit of Happiness.
absolutely. And then Deepak says, quite an inspirational journey towards your passion for
Yes.
art, Miss Veena. Thanks for sharing. That's
Absolutely,
great.
absolutely.
And this is an interesting one. Sudhir says there's a theme of 108 in this show.
Yes.
108 Surya Namaskars and Papamal, what you're talking
108,
about,
yes.
is also
you got
108
it right.
years
Yes.
old.
Good.
So,
That's a very favorable theme for us, I think.
absolutely. And apparently 108 is a very holy number for Hindus.
Yes.
It's a number of shlokas in Ashtotra.
I think it's an Indian tradition. I mean, generally is like 9, 18, and multiples of 9, right?
Correct.
Goes up to 108. That's always the case.
Correct.
The architecture, our architecture is also like that. Indian architecture,
Exactly.
the traditions,
Yeah.
the repetitions you make,
Yeah.
it's all multiples of 9.
Yeah. Absolutely. So really, really cool. Thank you guys for your
thank
comments.
you. That was
and
pretty generous of
Yes.
providing your feedback.
Yes. And if people would like to call us to our show
Yes.
at this point, please feel free to call into our show. Again, the details are something that Vijay will provide on dialing into the show.
It will be a fun conversation, right? With the calls coming in.
Yes.
And we've had better calls before also, right? So apart from these comments, right? And obviously the feedback for our picture of the month, what are we looking for the next show? What is going to happen? Because Indian tradition is full of festivals and observations, right? I mean, not just from particular religion,
Right.
in general. What is coming up?
Yeah, the festival. I mean, that's a fun thing about India, right?
Okay.
It is like some festival or the other happening every
All the time.
month.
And you get holidays for it.
Yes.
So nowadays, I think in USA also, Holi, I think Diwali is big.
Diwali is big.
Right?
Holi is catching up.
So just imagine this: if we take all the festivals we have in India, put it to USA, and say, hey, well, we need to celebrate this. So do you think there will be multiple holidays in the US calendar?
That's the thing, right? I've always wondered, like the Indian consulate the US consulate in India must be very lucky that they would have Indian festivals that they're closed, and they have the US festivals probably, or the holidays that are closed too. But what festivals do we have this month?
I think I know
in
for sure,
April?
as a Malayali, I know that the 14th is a Vishu.
Vishu,
We talked
that's
about
a New Year?
It's a New Year, yeah.
Gotcha.
So we talked about the last time also, but
Yeah.
it's very auspicious and a lot of celebrations, a lot of food. That's
Yes.
how I remember it.
Yes.
Right?
And we just celebrated Yugadi, which is also New Year. So
Yugadi
it's
too,
the
yes.
Indian New Year.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And Good Friday is, I think, coming up, right?
Good Friday and Easter Sunday is coming up next
Easter
week.
Oh, there you go. Easter Sunday is coming up.
Yes.
I remember Easter Sunday because I'm from Kerala, so a lot of good celebrations happen there. Vishu is all vegetarian food. You get all this sadhya. We call it sadhya. You sit down and eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
But Easter and Sunday is pretty different. It's like all the non-vegetarian stuff, we get to eat it.
Yeah.
Just imagine it's like two wonderful feasts happening in the same month.
Gotcha. No chicken, chicken.
No chicken. You still remember that, right? So
Yeah, that's pretty good. And Ramadan is also happening at this time in
Okay.
the fasting.
Ramen.
To
Oh,
accept,
we have a
press
caller.
1.
Let's take
to
it.
send a voicemail, press 2.
we
To
have
accept, press 1. To send a voice...
yes, we have a caller.
Can you hear us?
Hi, yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Hi. Welcome to the Rave Show.
Welcome
Who's
to
our
the Rave
caller
Show.
today?
Thank you. My name is Raman.
Hi, Raman.
Hi, Raman.
And where are you
Hey.
calling from?
I'm calling from Fairfax.
Okay, closer.
Nice to meet you, Raman. And thanks
meet you.
again for calling us. Tell me more. What do you like to rave about?
Yes.
Oh, I just had fun question to ask Jiju.
Okay.
That I'll ask him. I'm enjoying these shows. I've been following them for the past couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Raman. We are all ears.
Okay, am I online right now?
Yes, you are. You are. We are ready to
Oh, okay.
listen to your question.
Okay. Hey, Jiju and Soumya, really fun show. I've been watching your show for the past couple of weeks. Really good recipes, cocktail recipes, and all that. In fact, I tried one of them.
Great. Did you like it?
Jiju,
Yes.
I want to. Oh, yeah. Awesome. I want to ask you a fun question.
Okay.
If that's okay for you. I want to ask, do you want to go back and change the past, or want to go and see the future?
Oh, that's a question? Well,
That's for you.
that's
You're
for me.
answering
So
it.
that's a scientific question. I'm sure that you are a fan of Asimov, right? Isaac Asimov, for sure. So why not? I mean, if you have the question itself, I will get back to the value of the question. I mean, the exact answer of the question, but the element that we are talking about here is time travel, basically, right? So, I mean, the how to do it. You're asking about what I would feel, but how to do it gives me an opportunity. It's a time machine traveling thing, right? Some sort of time traveling equipment probably gives me an option to go back to my past and will give me, just by adjusting those dials, right? I should be able to go back to the future also. But to your question,
Like the
it's-
DeLorean.
yeah,
from
but DeLorean, exactly.
Yes.
But again, I know why you are asking that, because do you want to look into the future, right? And you are here. So learn from there and then maybe adopt whatever we can and speeden up that process, right? It could be one way. And going back to the past is to, I mean, there are ways.
What would you change in the past?
That's what people think. though.
That'll set you for something different.
So
no.
that the question is multidimensional in many
Yes.
ways. You don't just have to go back to the
space and time.
right, but you don't have to go to the past and change anything.
Sure.
Right? You could understand. This is how I see it. To Raman, to your question, what I would do is that I would prefer to go back to the past, because we have got documentation, we've got history of what has been written. It's all written by somebody, right? Based on their belief system, based on their understanding. It is his story. Somebody preferred to write that way. So what I would like to do, even though I have a choice to take a time traveling capsule and go back and forth, I would rather go back to the past, because I want to experience what actually happened. I want to be part of that. And when you go back to the past, obviously all your understanding, all your equipments that you currently carry with you, the cell phones and that kind of stuff, right? It doesn't exist for you anymore. You are bound by the constraints of the past. You're bound by the controls, rules, living conditions of the past. you will be better equipped to understand what happened. Just say past like Ramayana, Mahabharata, or anything happened in Quran or happened in the Bible, whatever is described. If you can experience it to the level when it was there, that will be the better enlightenment that you can carry with you when you come back. If you get to come back, Raman. I think that's how I see it.
What do you think, Raman, about that?
Did I pass that test?
Oh, yeah. Very good answer. Somehow, I like living in the present.
Oh, amazing. I think that was the right answer, but you gave me an option to travel in this.
Jiju likes to
DeLorean.
ponder in the past
Yes.
and,
But that was a great question.
maybe change a few things.
It's kind of like an IAS question. If I had studied well at that time, I would have.
You would have been a
IAS.
commissioner.
Thanks, Raman, for calling. Appreciate it. Keep on watching your show and put your comments
Awesome.
also.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Great.
Thank
Keep
you.
raving.
Keep up the good work. Awesome. Thank you. Bye.
That was fun. I
Yeah,
loved it.
that was fun. And again, I think it sort of transcends into the topics we're talking about today, right? We're talking about spring, the
Yes.
flowers, the
Yeah, I
beautiful
know.
sunshine, and the
Well,
warm
it's,
weather, and the bees.
Warm weather, bees, flowers.
All of that.
It's kind of like that. I mean, that reminds me of Zubidubi Zubidubi
that's a great song.
Zubidubi Parampa.
Zubi-dooby, zubi-dooby, nache, kyun pagal, stupid man. शाखों पे पत्ते गा रहे हैं, दीवाने किरने गा रहे. La 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 la, ये पंछी गा रहे. तगिया में दो फूलों की हो रही है हूबहू, जैसा फिल्मों में होता है, हो रहा है हूबहू. Ay, ay, ay.
Zubidubi Zubidubi Pampara Zubidubi Parampa.
Hey, zubi-dooby, nache, kyun pagal,
Pagal,
stupid man.
So that's
Ba-ba-ba.
well, spring, right? Spring, you can be actually crazy in your mind and enjoy it.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's all the time we have for
Is
today.
that all the time we have? The time just
It's just
flew
flew.
like that. So, well, thank you, our audience. This last call was entertaining.
Yeah.
Thank you for our audience, and I know that you've been watching and giving us feedback, but we would like to see more feedback from you so that we can kind of custom our presentation also that way. And there are many means to do it. We had mentioned that before. One is the YouTube link that you can type that in. Facebook also, you can type that in and we get to see it. And like I said before, you can always call us, just like Raman had called right now, right? Always call us and ask that great question plus any other questions that you have.
And subscribe.
And
Subscribe to our channel. You get the current
1,000
details.
subscription almost we came to, right? So that is good. That will help us. And we are very thankful for you giving us the feedback. Now, I think we'll have more raving done next month, and let us know what topics that you want us to rave about. But for us, from our side, this is jijunair saying thank you.
And soumyakini, thank you for joining our show.
Till we meet next time.
Keep
next month.
raving, and namaste.
Namaste.